guys. I have all of our settings set for recording. So, because I'm dumb and I didn't, of course, think about putting it back to live streaming until after I hit start. Yes, I'm a doofus. Give me 1 second and I can get your chat up top and we'll get into this. We got a few things to look at. As you know, is this it? Is this it? No. Is this it? No. Is this it? No. Where is it? Patch chat. Boink, 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 and boink. Oh, much better. Oh, there we go. Hello, Poisoned Harley, Dead Doc, Wicked, and every Kathy. Hey, our top, what's up, dude? Good to see you, bro. So, oh my God, hold up. I was about to talk to you about a sub. Howsy, come in here, bub. He's in there barking. If he comes in, you know he'll say hi. But, oh, he's a little terror. He is a little terror. You know I'm talking about my dog. So, we were going to talk about, first, you guys know I uploaded a video on the Submarine. Well, it's a submersible, submarine. I can show it to you. This has been like one of the biggest news stories ever, and some of you are going to be like, well, what are you going to do, Uni? Talk about the same thing you uploaded on? No! So if you haven't seen my upload, you're probably going to be a little confused about this. Come here, boy. Come say hi. Come on. Your bows. Come on. Hey, come here. Okay, he's busy chewing on a bone, chasing something around. Come on, come say hi. Okay, I'll go get him here in a minute. So the story with the sub has been really big lately, and it's very interesting, though we're going to talk about how that story has turned into spiracy theories. And it's not that logical, really. Yeah, I suppose it's okay. I guess it's logical. It's just not that fantastic. I guess I'd say it's more of a normal spiracy. Then we've got a couple stories that I just want to show you guys, but I know that you all have heard about the drama, and you probably want me to respond to the drama, which I think I already did. Not in my last... I responded on Kick, that's right. And really, my only response is, well, of course, Betty sued Queen, of course, because... like I stated from the beginning, Betty and JLR were working together on this campaign of theirs this entire time. And it is a campaign of fear based around them being extremely nervous about getting banned from YouTube due to their constant and persistent and nonstop doxing and harassment and just improper use of even the court system to try to punish people that talk about them. And so, yeah, why wouldn't we think that JLR is going to sue me? Because I exposed the fact that he is the same guy that is known in the news media for what he did to the Brandy Brook situation. You know what I'm saying? Gotta be careful with these YouTube bots. You know what I'm saying? Though, of course, Betty can't just sit there. She can't just sit there and chill. She's got to sue somebody. It can't be me because, of course, then it would interfere with what JLR's doing, or it would complicate that whole situation. And so, of course, she just picked... I really don't know why she picked Queen. Only viewers of Queen would know why Betty picked Queen. I did talk about in my upload about this. I uploaded on it a couple days ago on UNIRock 2. And my theory in this is that she basically took some of the stuff that... because you know how she has guests. She has, like, randos come on. So I think she's taking some of the stuff that randos are saying and she's attributing it or suing Queen for it. How does that work? I'm not a lawyer. I don't know. And what about that whole claim that one of the people on her show said that Betty was banging, oh, what's the turtle guy? You know who I'm talking about? The turtle dude? And so then that like riled Betty up and she considers that defamation. Menace's video is probably the best video to watch on it. That's where I pulled those clips from in my video. So really, that's my opinion. So I don't care. Wicked, thank you for sharing that, because it kind of does remind me at the same time to remind all of you that yes, your support to my channel is even more needed now than ever, just because I'm not streaming as much as I was, you know, due to recent events happening. Yes, the support. Thank you for sharing that, Wicked. Wicked just put it in the chat. PayPal.me/UNIRock and $UNIRock on Cash App. Also, make sure you like and sub and share and all that good stuff. Though, we have a couple Spiracy theories, and I think we're going to go to Ben Shapiro, just so we can knock this out of the way. So let me go ahead and show you a couple stories, and then I'll talk to the live chat, and then I'm going to jump out of here. Not because I don't want to spend time with you on a Friday, but because I'm still working on uploads. And when I'm uploading, it takes a lot of time away from me live streaming, which I made sure to, you know, warn a lot of you about for a while. So hopefully that's okay with y'all. If not, you know, you guys know that after I upload for a while, I'll switch back to live streaming for a bit. I always go back and forth. So I don't blame any of you who want to just come to live streams. I don't blame any of you that want to just watch videos. It's all on you. Though, to catch you up on this story, this is the sub story. So where the Titanic sank, this sub called the Titan, it's right there, the Titan, also dove to, you know, show the billion with a B, billionaires on board the wreckage of the Titanic. And as you know, if you've paid attention to this story at all, they finally found this part, which is the structure that holds it together, these two Titanic parts, and then the bottom part, and then this thing was completely gone and disintegrated. And this is, I think they might have found the tail section, actually. So the tail might have just popped off, but this catastrophic failure. And it is made of titanium. In fact, hold on. I will let... Here we go. Joining me now, the host of... I'll let Josh Gates, just because I like Josh Gates, explain the makeup of the sub. So let's skip to Josh talking. Josh Gates is the host of a show. Now, when Josh's show first came out, he was playing next to a couple alien shows. This is right after Ancient Aliens probably had been popular when it blew up. And since Ancient Aliens blew up, these other channels also wanted to throw their hand in the ring and take basically whatever style their channel, their TV channel was, and try to give an Ancient Aliens type of show to the audience. And I believe Josh was on the Travel Channel. And he had a show called like Operation Unknown or Mystery, or I'm sorry, Expedition Unknown or something like that. Now the thing is, out of Josh's show, out of the alien shows, and out of the other shows, Josh's was my favorite. Like, he would go to the craziest locations and cover some crazy stuff. It was very entertaining. So whenever I see Josh Gates pop up, he's like an adventurer. He's an explorer. He's like actually part of what I forget the name of it. It's like the Explorers, the Worldwide Explorers Club. If any of you know that, the name of Josh's exploration foundation, type it for me. But we need to look at what he's saying, and I'll show you two other stories, and then I'm just going to sit and talk to the chat, because basically, I just miss you guys. I came online because I miss you. Expected. What happened? It's lonely editing videos. Now.
Yeah, now I think they're going to try and pick up all the pieces with the little rovers that they have and put them back and bring them up to the surface. And
as a probable outcome here, but I really did hold out hope until this afternoon. And obviously my heart is broken for the passengers aboard and for their families.
By the way, this is a completely new clip. Completely new. Expedition Unknown is a great show. I loved it. I really did. I was shocked to know that he's still doing it.
A really difficult
I'm going to try to find some episodes and watch them, some of the new episodes.
Situation. And I think a lot of questions now that need to be asked and answered in the coming weeks and months about this platform and about...
I think he's going to describe the sub now.
How it was built and fundamentally how safe it really was.
Rachel, can you come here real quick? So basically, this isn't the right clip, but this isn't what we're here to see. We're here to see Ben Shapiro. Tell us about the Spiracy. And I want to know if you think it's valid or not, because I love Spiracies.
So as suspected, the Titanic submersible, it was not at the bottom of the ocean filled with air. It wasn't sort of a horror movie in which everybody was knocking on the walls, hoping desperately that somebody would save them. It wasn't people in a small chamber waiting and running out of time.
Okay, I'm not gonna completely dunk on Ben Shapiro, because that was what the media was reporting. In fact, if you just search it and you scroll down, if you find videos from a couple days ago, I don't know if we'll see them, but you'll notice that they actually did say that the people were banging on the walls and stuff like that. So that's why he's referencing
Instead,
that.
It turns out that days ago,
Dead says legendary locations. Wonder Twin says the aliens took the billionaires. You see, Wonder, that Spiracy is better than some of them that I've seen. I saw a basketball-related Spiracy about the subs. So, Wonder Twin, I think you got this better than even those dudes have it.
Essentially, the Titanic submersible, known as Titan, that it essentially imploded as soon as the water pressure got to be too much and everybody died instantly.
Which is exactly what you would think would happen. Now, the Spiracy is that the Navy knew since day one. Now, that's not the Spiracy. The Spiracy is the Navy knew and either purposely didn't tell the media, or, and I'm going to do this really quick, y'all. I'm not going to drag this out. The Navy knew and didn't tell the media, or the Navy knew, told the media, and the media said, you know what, we're just going to ignore it. Because they think that, and in fact, I will play this other video from Ben, because Ben thinks that because of new things happening with Ukraine or Russia or with the Biden family, that because the media did not want to have to report on that, they drug out this story, knowing, of course, the whole time. In fact, you would call it the distraction. And we've seen these kind of Spiracies for years on YouTube. I haven't covered Spiracies in a long time on YouTube, but we've seen them. And essentially, the charge, you know what I'll do? While this is playing, I'll pull up another video, and it'll give you an entire list of Spiracies relating to the distraction. But let's just hear this first.
His testimony on May 26th centered on Weiss. According to the more than 200-page interview transcript, Shapley alleged Weiss was denied special counsel status in the course of the investigation, that DOJ officials blocked his efforts to bring charges against Hunter Biden in both Washington, D.C. and in California.
I'm going to skip a lot of this because he's just going to talk about all the stuff that Hunter is accused of, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, the president's son. And honestly, I hate politics. I hate the left versus right mentality. I think that people that are on the left and people that are on the right, that should not be something that divides people. We shouldn't be forming clubs because we're Republicans or conservatives or liberals or Democrats. We should all be able to get along regardless of holding those types of, in my opinion, trivial sides. Because we have to be able to discuss these things with each other to make any headway. It's only when you kind of take those sides and you shrink them into groups that battle each other that causes the political division that we see right now. And I'm against that heavily. So I'm going to skip ahead.
Yep. Shapley said some of the decisions.
December of 2018 as an offshoot of a separate.
So he's going to talk about all the stuff Joe Biden's done wrong. Then he's going to try to get you to buy some underwear. I'm pretty sure it was some underwear. And then he's going to talk about the sub.
We would have executed search warrants, conducted interviews, and served documents.
Oh, hold on. I'm missing some comments. Josh Gates also has Expedition X, where they research supernatural locations and lore. Really? I didn't even know. Wait, hold up. Expedition X. Oh, I'm going to have to look that up. I love people researching supernatural things. Or speaking about them. In fact, my newest favorite YouTube channel is the Y Files. WHY space files, not the letter Y, the actual word Y files, because he has this little talking fish, and that fish reminds me of Bizzy every time I watch his show. Like, I almost think this dude was spying on some of my older videos and created a Bizzy clone, because those two are exactly alike. Bizzy and Hecklefish are exactly alike. I love him, though. The Navy could be withholding the information because releasing the info may expose their listening methods. And Doc, that's exactly what I was going to say here in a little bit. That was going to be my debunk. So Doc kind of beat me to the debunk, but and with the technology, this was a whistleblower that came out and fed the information to the media, allegedly, that they could listen to these depths at 1,600, 1,700, 2,000, 4,000 feet, because I believe that the Titanic is over 10,000 feet down because it's 4,000 some meters down, unless I'm doing my math wrong. And so with this, where the sub actually imploded was around, they found the debris 1,600 feet away from the hull of the Titanic. So once it imploded, parts of it sank down to the bottom and rested on the floor of the ocean. That's a creepy perspective to hold. That's a creepy thought, to think that this sub ended up landing where you could pretty much say is in the field of debris of the Titanic. Are you feeling me? That's kind of creepy. Now, one of the men, I believe he was the French explorer, who is also a member of the same explorer club that Josh Gates is a member of. He found his final resting place essentially just I would say he's in the debris field of the Titanic, because the major part of the Titanic debris field, 1,600 feet away, is where they found that part of the sub. So the Titanic debris field is actually bigger than where the kind of condensed main part of the debris field is. So it is accurate to say that the sub itself is now part of the Titanic debris field. Though, according to some of the news media, the people that they're interviewing, there is an attempt to use submersible robotic drone submarines, like the same kind of drones you fly in the sky, that concept, but submarine drones instead of flying helicopter drones. And they're going to try to pull whatever pieces they can up, according to this guy, and put the sub back together. Now, I don't know how they could do that, because these are titanium and they are very deep. The temperatures are very extreme down there, and the pressure is very extreme. Now, does that mean it'll be easier for sometimes it would, because the water is going to be much, much, much more condensed, thicker, you could say. Now, you could just imagine, because of the pressure, the water pressure, all the water sitting on top of the water, as you go deeper and deeper, it's going to be a thicker kind of water. And just in case you don't know, audio waves or sound waves travel much, much further down that depth than they would on the top of the ocean. So, of course, yes, the Navy isn't going to want to let people know, hey, we used our top secret submarine detecting listening field to listen in on and heard this sub implode. Though at the same time, they could have lied. They could have just lied. They could have just came out on day one and said, hey guys, we were using like regular listening methods and think we heard an implosion. They should have said something, you know what I'm saying? But I do agree with Doc Misha. I agree that because of the top secret nature of the listening devices, yeah, I agree that they wouldn't have just come out and waved that at the world, right? Well, and Wonder Twin makes a good point. They didn't want panic. They absolutely, that's probably a factor. Doc also says, the newer Boeing aircraft are made out of composite materials such as carbon fiber and titanium. However, a commercial jet faces very different forces than a submersible. Why would the world panic over the death of 5 people? Really, we see this kind of numbers. Well, that's good. I think Wonder Twin saying world panic, the word world, yeah, there wouldn't be world panic, but it would cause a lot of panic for the families and stuff. So, I can see where there would be an element of panic involved. Maybe not world panic, just an element of scaring the families. And maybe they didn't. How I saw Wonder Twin's comment is jumping to conclusions, right? they might have thought, well, that noise could have been a bunch of different things, so we don't want to just assume that it was an implosion right until we have evidence. I thought that went through my mind too, if you know
Documents
what I'm saying.
request. Nevertheless, my IRS chain of command decided we would defer to the DOJ. And here is where things get unbelievably dicey. In August 2020, a search warrant uncovered a text between Hunter.
I'm going to skip this. I don't want to hear about Hunter. I want to hear about
sitting next to his father. Repeated claims he never made with luxurious threads. They're made without devastating.
This is where he's trying to sell you the underwear. Right here's where he's trying to sell you this underwear.
Felony counts 24 devastating. That text first.
Okay, so here's the gist of the Hunter Biden issue. When Joe Biden was running for president, he said that he never even spoke to his son about his son's business deals. And what Ben does is go into depth due to a text message, allegedly, from Hunter Biden to a Communist Party, Chinese Communist Party leader. And the text is a very, it's a very threatening exchange. Basically, you better pay me or my father is going to use his reputation and all the people that he knows to ruin you. And that's why, of course, Ben goes into depth. Not just Ben, many people go into depth with this whole thing. So I want to skip ahead.
Let's talk plus one blade cartridge kit.
Then he tries to sell me a knife. The Precision 5 Razor from Jeremy's Razors.
$14.99.
I always skip these advertisements, but Ben Shapiro is the only guy I know that does too. Now, that isn't an hour-long video, so I can't really dump on him too bad. Yeah, in a 12-minute video, one advertisement, 12 seconds, I'm okay with that. Don't be hitting me with the underwear and then the razors, okay?
Right there.
I dropped the Josh Gates video about him declining the expedition and why in general. Thank you, Wicked. Misha says the experts want to get the debris up so they can find out what happened. Exactly, Doc. They want to know what caused the, they know the forces that apply to the sub. They know. And Josh Gates mentions a specific kind of force, and I don't know why it's not coming to me right now. And it's a very strange kind of force. It's not that there's just constant force from all sides pushing on the sub. As the sub descends, there are rotational, I'm using the wrong word, but rotational forces are on the sub. There's another couple kinds of forces that do apply. Now, what Josh says is with a titanium alloy steel sub or with a steel or another steel alloy sub, you already have massive amount of tested data to be able to say that the sub will not implode under X amount of pressure, right? Now, that's because of the many different subs that have used those alloys and been under the sea at depths, even depths to the Titanic, like to the Titanic, okay? Or similar to the Titanic is what I'm trying to say. Though, they didn't use a titanium steel alloy or any other kind of steel alloy. They used a carbon fiber mesh. And I remember in my upload, one of the things I said to you guys in the upload that I did, if you remember my upload about the sub yesterday, I said, I want some kind of steel sub. I said, and I believe I said, now I might be dumb for saying this, but I want a steel sub if I'm going down that low. Now you'll say, why did they get into a carbon fiber sub? Because they use carbon fiber on some of the drones. Though the drones are much smaller, and the smaller drones, of course, the forces are much different. I don't want to bore you with, it feels good to get this out because I've been like watching every video that I can find about this over the last 3 days. So it feels really good to talk about this, but I don't want to bore you, so I'll move on.
That's strong stuff there from the President of the United States. Apparently, Joe is now not only confusing himself, he's also confusing Jill. So yesterday, Jill had no idea where to go because Joe just wouldn't let go of
oh my God, shut up about Joe Biden. And I know y'all want me to cover some of the Betty stuff that's going on. I don't want to right now. We will cover Betty stuff, but I'm not covering it today. It's Friday. I don't feel like it. I'm not going to
answer that question. I'm just not going to. Not that I wear on my head. I'm not.
Oh, you're not going to either. Well, I'm not going
Christian. That does not mean that Christian apologetic literature isn't absolutely fantastic from time to time.
It is. I believe it is. I think it gives you reason. I don't want to go into it. It is good, though.
I think that a lot of the arguments that are applicable to Christian apologetics are applicable to religious apologetics, reducing a race of men too mentally modest to believe in the multiplication table.
Okay, I can't do this, Ben. I can't do this. You're all over the place, Ben Shapiro. But there's another channel that I want you to see. Let me bring it up right now. I thought I'd already brought it up. I did. It's down here. Let me grab it. Okay. Now, one of my favorite channels right now is Black Conservative Perspective, BCP. No, not that BCP, not our BCP. It's a different BCP. But here he is, Black Conservative Perspective. And he has a great YouTube channel where he covers a lot of stuff that more is just, he's more about documenting the race hustle that's out there that some people engage in. I think he should cover both sides a little more. There is a lot of that happening on both sides of the aisle, but he does cover it from the conservative perspective because he's a conservative. Now, I watch a lot of liberal people and conservative people. I don't just give myself one perspective, but we are going to get a sub video from him that he just put out, if I can find it here. Yeah, we need that video and we need this video. Well, let's start here. Okay, but Biden Navy, he says Biden Navy. I wouldn't call it Biden Navy. I think that there's no separation here. This is just the Navy, but you know, he is a conservative. So he's going to play the sides anytime he can. But here's what he has to say. He's going to actually go into the conspiracy part of this way more than Ben Shapiro did. So let's hear it.
All right, so we got to talk about a couple of bombshell news stories that I think have a connection to each other. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong about it, okay? It just so happens that this week, most of us have been talking about the Titan story, right?
Same here. I don't think most of my subscribers are going to care about the Titan sub, but I think some of you will care about it. So I think it's a good story to hit right now.
Submarine that went to visit the Titanic with 5.
Kai, what's up, dude? He says, Little Ben is such a clown, either one of the most gullible people on earth or grifting them. Can't tell which. You know, I don't know with Ben. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Ben myself, and I don't watch him all the time. Rachel did give me that video as the first, you know, Subspiracy video that I saw. So, though, after that video, I don't know if it was because of him covering it or just because it's out there so much. That's when I started finding the Spiracy videos about the sub in droves. So we're going to look at that. Nada says they didn't know for sure what was they're supposed to say. We heard something that might have been an implosion. Search. That's what I think, Nada. Yeah. I think there's two sides. I think that some people feel like they should have just said something in the most broad way, even lie and say they picked it up in a different way than their top secret technology. And then other people think, no, it's top secret technology. It's a national security risk if they come out. And that would have been the argument behind closed doors. It would have been the argument. It's a national security risk if we tell people that we're monitoring the ocean at that depth, because the only thing we would be monitoring for in that depth are foreign submarines, essentially. And you don't want to let the enemy know that kind of thing. You don't want to. You don't want to let anybody know that kind of thing. They don't want to tell you exactly how they're monitoring the deep ocean. They don't want to tell you how they're monitoring the sky or space. Because once you do that, that's just hard proof that the enemy then says, we got to go either deeper than that now or higher than that, because we know they're monitoring right there. You know what I'm saying? So I see both perspectives. I don't know how to feel yet. I don't know how to feel yet.
Crew members. Some billionaires that paid $250,000 each to take a trip to Davy Jones' locker and ultimately get stuck. Yeah, that story. Okay.
Oh, another part of this story I showed you at the very end of the upload that I did is that people are attacking the men who died just because they're very rich. And it's really disgusting, because when you look at the fact that whether they're rich or not, they have families. They didn't expect to die. They thought because they had sent other subs successfully to the bottom of the Titanic, they thought, I would say that I would doubt that the billionaires, that the passengers on board, other than the owner, knew nothing about some of the controversies around that sub. And if you don't know what those are, that sub chose not to be certified at certain depths. And they used some very weird reasoning for why they didn't want to get certified. If you want to know more about that, you can go out and watch BCP, or Black Conservative Perspective. He goes into depth on all of that. I'm just going to stick with the newest information, which is this right here. I want to look at the Spiracy theory myself.
Today, we found out that the U.S. Navy believed that the Titan imploded days ago. Okay, so I want you guys to understand, we have been monitoring this story, okay, for the last 3 or 4 days. It's been the #1 story in the world, basically, about billionaires lost in the ocean because they went on a trip to the Titanic, and they made us believe that these people were actually alive. But most of us already knew the day that they reported that this submarine was missing, that these people had probably died. However, again, the mainstream liberal media,
there's the foundation of the Spiracy, just so you know. Now he's going to go to in-depth.
Kept us on a wild goose chase for this submarine that was lost 2 miles below the ocean, having us thinking that this 5-person crew could possibly be alive, okay? They even told us that there were knocking noises, okay, that they were using to search for the sub, as if, these people were alive, knocking, banging on the sub, wanting somebody to come rescue them, right? Just for us to be told that this sub had imploded, which would result.
That's true, Nada. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
In instant death. Okay, now,
I'm going to give you guys my take on it here in a minute.
Apparently, the Navy knew about this days ago, right? In fact, they knew the day that it happened, hours after it happened, that these people were likely dead. However, again, nobody said anything about it, right? And they to believe that they might be alive. That could have been taking up the news cycle besides the Titans.
Here it is.
So let's
here
read
it
about
is.
A top secret military acoustic detect findings to. I think most people would have declared people to be dead before you actually hit sun. Well, too. Okay, I mean, they basically wanted a way to avoid giving Hunter Biden felony charges for.
Okay, so that's the basis of the Spiracy. I think I played enough for you to kind of understand the basis. Let me get this queued up. Okay. And my take on this is basically, I don't believe there is a Spiracy on this. I think that the media that's choosing not to talk much about what's going on with Hunter Biden is just doing it regardless of any other story that's there. Yeah, I do think some news agencies aren't going to talk about it because they don't want Biden to look bad. Other are going to talk about it a lot because they want Biden to look bad. And this is why I constantly tell you guys that instead of me coming to YouTube and sticking on a political side, I myself am going to push against both sides politically as much as possible. It's not a popular take to have, but I am so tired myself of the political infighting, people on the left and right attacking each other, talking down to each other, threatening and doxing each other. And I'm going to show you some of that threatening and doxing in just a minute so you understand what I mean when it comes to these kind of stories. In my opinion, it's both sides are causing that kind of infighting, that kind of attacking. It's just not cool. And so the only way I can see to kind of push against it is for me to just speak against it whenever this kind of political thing happens. Now, again, do I think that the sub story has any relation to certain news media talking about Biden a lot or other news media choosing not to talk about it at all or in small amounts? Not at all. Whatever story's there, it doesn't matter. I don't think they covered what I'm saying is, one more time, they didn't change the way they were covering the story so that they didn't have to talk about it. they just would have not talked about it in either way. The bias is there. The bias is very heavy on certain networks, and other networks, it's even worse because I don't think you find many news networks other than YouTubers. You'll find some YouTubers, but not many. Why is my camera still crashing, bro? I gotta fix this. You won't find many news, even the news networks that pretend like they're not politically slanted are. And they just don't show you. They just don't advertise it. They'll do it behind the scenes. So either way, I try my best to just get my news from both sides. I want to know what each side is saying, and I just want to look at the facts. It's the only way I can even tolerate covering stuff like this anymore. Though, to kind of show you some of the stuff that's gone on, let's take a look at Black Conservative Perspective, BCP, Greg Foreman, on this story, because this is a fascinating story. Regardless of the political slant that anyone applies to this story, I can't believe this. This has me angry. This is the result of all of the political fighting that we see out there. So no, I'm not getting political. I'm getting anti-political. Take a listen.
So, here's my story time. Basically, what happened was...
Basically, that's the furthest from the truth. Graduation went like this. I was in the graduation. I graduated.
Okay, so she was at the graduation ceremony. I'm going to tell you what happened in 2 seconds.
So I didn't even finish getting to say my name. And then the people that went before me and everything, they all got to say their name, their major, and even extras.
This is a lie. I don't know why I didn't hone into this the first time I heard her talk, but you can kind of tell the way she looks to the left and the change in the tone of her voice. She is lying. People didn't get to say any extras. What happened? Well, let me show you. We'll come back to the video. Let's kind of show you. So at the graduation ceremony, a white woman, an older white woman, a teacher probably, taking the microphone to every student and letting them say their name. Now, if a student said anything more than that, she would take the mic to the next student because there was like 1,000 students. And of course, they didn't have time to say more than just their name or they would have been there for days. So this woman, though, grabs the mic from her and they wrestle for the mic. She gets the mic and says something, and I believe we're going to see it right now. That'll kind of get you knowing what's going on. I wish you would have started with this video, but let's just take a look.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I got to tell you guys.
Person, but...
Here.
Graduate girl lied about why she snatched the microphone.
John Booth, Amy Gomez.
So you see, this is proof that the woman is just... Let me play the original microphone video. I do not know why BCP didn't play it. Dang it, BCP. What are you doing? Oh, here it is. Okay. So this is what happened. They fight for the mic, and this woman was the one carrying the mic. She grabs it and rips it away from her. This is what she does.
My name is Cuddy Black-Diallo, and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today is going to be all about me.
Oh.
Then she slams the mic down.
Drops the mic. Congratulations!
All right, guys, so we got to talk.
So this is what we first saw a few days ago. People were accusing this woman of racism, the white woman, because they say she did something wrong and that made the younger woman come up and grab the mic. And people were calling this older woman racist.
Talk about a story that is going viral, mega viral, featuring a black woman who decided to take the mic from a person that's officiating a graduation.
So, days later, today, this comes out. This video shows that the white woman was not allowing people to say anything more than just their name, essentially proving that the black younger lady was lying for whatever reason. Of course, BCP has his own take. I'll give you mine at the end, but look at what happened.
Graduate girl lied about why she snatched the microphone.
John Booth, Amy Gomez, Angelica Kiara Villar, Gina Abulelo, Amoya Doyley, Alexandra Robinson, Janelle Wellington. Big up Jamaica!
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I gotta tell you guys, I absolutely love stories like this.
So BCP days ago, when he sees this, he questions the fact that they didn't play what happened before the mic was snatched in the video we were given. The viral video only played the woman taking the mic and saying what she said. They didn't play what happened right before the woman took the mic. Now, these videos came out showing that they lied about racism being a part of this, essentially is the story.
It's because I have to do a follow-up on a story that I did yesterday about a black girl, okay, who felt entitled during a graduation ceremony, so entitled that she decided to snatch the mic from the person who happened to be a white lady who was officiating the graduation event, because allegedly the lady was racist, okay? The lady was disrespecting black people by not allowing them to say their full name when they came to the mic.
Literally, my name is long. My name, obviously, I have like 3 syllables in my name. I'm not gonna say exactly my name right now, but okay, just so you get
3 syllables doesn't seem like a long name. I'm sorry.
a point. So I didn't even finish getting to say my name.
Ninja says a Las Vegas billionaire and his son were given a $100K discount each for the dive. They declined, so the father and son from Pakistan got the available places. Meanwhile, 700 people perished in the Med-Fluring War trying to get Europe and the fishing boat they were on sank, and no coverage of that. Well, I saw something about some boat that sank, but I couldn't find a single article on it, so I didn't even know what happened. I didn't even know if anything happened. But yeah, I'll look. What's it called now? The Med-Fluring War. I'll search that to see if I can find it, because I didn't have any luck.
And then the people that went before me and everything, they all got to say their name, their major, and even extras.
See, that she's just lying about that. I don't know why this is happening so much right now, where people just lie and lie and lie so that a viral video can go out. And then what happens is that certain news broadcasters then attack those people for being racist. Now, this has happened not just with this issue, of course, or I wouldn't be showing this to you. There's another story I've been working on, uploading on, called the CITI BIKE KAREN, that I'm gonna, now that story involves 2 fundraisers. And so we're gonna look at both fundraisers when we look at the CITI BIKE KAREN situation, and that's why it's taken me a few extra days to do anything on it. It's a little complicated, but it's called the CITI BIKE KAREN story. I'll show it to you after this. We've even got like 5 more stories. There's a Twitter account that is cataloging all of these similar stories where they want someone fired from their job due to them being racist, where the video shows, if you look at the whole video, it shows that there wasn't any racism at all. It shows that these people are being lied on for being racist. It's really strange. But of course, the question is, why is this happening right now? Why are so many people having these cherry-picked or cherry-clipped videos, that I call it, that frame them as racist, come out and show that they weren't being racist at all, that it wasn't about race, that it was just the opposite, actually. But we'll take a look, and I'll show you what I'm saying as we go.
And me and the other girl noticed that she was pulling the mic down super fast for some black people. I don't want to be that person, but...
No, you actually did want to be that person, but...
Which we know is not true, because there's new video evidence, the video I showed you guys at the beginning of this video, showing that the lady did in fact let people say their whole names, but nothing else.
And then yanked the mic away because of how many people were there.
Right as they were coming to the mic. Take a look.
Graduate girl lied about why she snatched the microphone.
John Booth, Amy Gomez, Angelica Chiara Villar.
That's a very long name. So I didn't see a snap at all.
Amoya Doyley, Alexandra Robinson, Janelle Wellington. Big up Jamaica. Woo!
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Definitive proof and evidence that this girl was lying, which should be no surprise to anybody with an ounce of common sense that knows exactly how these people operate. They make up racism in their head, okay? And then all of a sudden, they're victims. They're butthurt. They can do whatever they want to do. I'm going to go to the stage and snatch the mic from this woman because she's a white racist.
I love when he starts that voice. It gets me every time.
Right.
Kai says, I'm going to play a game. Check back later. See if you're done with the right-wing culture war stuff. Doing something fun. Yeah, I'm going to play Diablo here in a bit on Kick. So when you see the Kick thing, man, hit that up. But just so you know, I'm not taking this from any right or left-wing perspective at all. I do not seek to do that. So
she disrespected me. But again, the video evidence shows that didn't happen, right? Because clearly in that video, you can see that white lady is allowing so-called students of color to say their names. And some of those students had long-ass names, okay? And she allowed them to say their long-ass name. And they probably quickly tried to sneak in extra stuff that they weren't supposed to say, which, again, you saw.
I'm never going to get used to the pause button being over here. They moved it. It used to be right here. And now it's here. I'm never going to get used to that.
Video, some people were sneaking in a bunch of extra stuff real quick before she could lower the mic. Okay, that's what we saw. So clearly, as you saw there was no discrimination, right? There was no, oh, well.
Okay, so I want to see the other video here before we get going. Oh, hold up. Right here.
It has more to do with the fact that, again, you had black students trying to sneak in extra stuff. So we also have another angle, okay? We have another angle of this interaction with you guys that's really telling, because it really shows you that this woman quite literally walked away from this white lady, okay? She was all the way gone, and she marinated on this perceived racism / disrespect to walk all the way back to this white lady.
I don't know. See, the thing is, I don't think it was racist. I don't think that was an initial concern. I think she just got mad at the woman for bringing the mic away from her mouth, and then I don't think it was racism until afterwards. That's just my opinion.
And snatched the mic, again, as she's allowing people to just say their names, right? But more than that. Take a look.
When they try to cut you off, but you have something to say.
Woo! Get happy with it.
Brian Amadis.
Hey, I want the mic. Let go.
Look at that. I mean, they're fighting.
You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is CITI and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today
I don't think that that's a long name.
it's going to be all about me. Drop the mic. Congratulations, girl. You didn't let her get her moment.
Yeah, so it doesn't just stop there, guys. We also have another brave young black woman, a beautiful black woman, by the way. I just want to make that clear. Beautiful black woman.
I think BCP has a crush.
Took to TikTok to explain her side of the story, because she also was at the graduation.
People do better, because that was not a proper graduation, and I don't think anybody deserved that for the hard work they put in for.
Now,
okay, the last thing I want to show you here is this video. And this is just one example of something that's just happening a lot right now. Take a look.
Off using discount code Team BCP. Let's get into it.
Student graduating, it is her day. She's seen grabbing the microphone. Very little context is provided until she provides it directly. Here it is.
Okay, let go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is CITI and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today is going to be all about me.
Oh, drops the mic. Congratulations!
There is a backstory, an important backstory to provide significant context to what you just saw.
Hey, what is
I
it?
am glad she provided the context personally. Here it is.
So, it's my story time. Basically, what happened was, I was walking.
Will cause you to break decorum.
Listen to this clown. Listen to this clown, bruh. I mean, this guy, he cannot do any type of analysis.
No way. The Young Turks. Okay, because the other story I want to show you is the CITI Bike Karen. And it has turned into a major fraud raiser situation. It's probably the only fraud raiser that I'm really looking into right now, outside of the one I showed you, where we had, oh man, it was the lady from TikTok that pretended to be, to have, like, she had those tubes in her nose, but she basically just went in to maybe in her house or somewhere, had some tubes laying around and made it look like she had a breathing tube in her nose when she didn't. They weren't even in her nose correctly. She fundraised a lot of money, and then people came out and said something's wrong here because you don't have any of your medical stuff hooked up to your face properly. All of it is wrong. Do you even have cancer? And then people found out that after she collected $30,000 or $40,000, she did not have cancer. And I've been trying to track that. I haven't found many updates in the last few weeks, but then again, I haven't looked in a few days. So maybe we'll have an update to that. That one's on my back burner. The CITI Bike situation, we've got two sides funding fundraisers. One side says that one sequence of events happened. The other side says another sequence of events happened. And if you believe this side, then they've raised hundreds or something of $1,000s, and one of them is lying because their story directly goes against each other, but each side has raised a lot of money. So it's a guaranteed fraud raiser situation. Somebody lied. Somebody did not give proper information so that they could raise a lot of money. Now, essentially, this is another situation where this woman tries to get a bike, because in big cities, you can rent what are called city bikes. Duh. And you ride them around instead of driving a car. Some of them are electric so that you can actually, like, not have to pedal, and they can just kind of zip around like a motorcycle. That would be awesome. I would probably rent them myself if I was in a big city. Anyway, though, the CITI Bike Karen had a video come out showing that she tried to steal a bike from another man, and everybody called her racist. The same, the Young Turks called the woman racist, of course. But again, I'm looking at this just to debunk or fact check the information, not for a culture war scenario. Also, I don't care about right and left at all. It means nothing to why I'm looking into this. And I want to know the details that they both used to give the public to raise lots of money. And when the end of this story, once we find out the truth, is that money been raised fraudulently or not? That's going to be my question. But let's see if we can find a video to cover this.
The roughly 2-minute video starts with a white woman wearing hospital scrubs straddling a city bike, screaming for help, even though she doesn't appear to be in danger. Please help.
She kind of does appear to have somebody. If she paid for the bike and the dude's trying to take it, she's holding on to it and yelling for help so that he'll let go of the bike she paid for. Like, it depends on who owns this bike, whether or not she's yelling for the right or wrong reason, just so you know. I'm going to play. Oh, wait, I already read that. Please remember to hit the like and share and comment, subscribe. Thank you, Wicked. Wicked says a couple days ago, the fake cancer lady struck a channel for streaming the photo of her, and YouTube made her take the vid down to edit out or blur the image. It's insane. Yeah. Oh, thank you. If you have any like article or anything on that, throw it in Discord for me, and I'll make sure to jump in and grab it. Because again, I haven't been using Discord lately, so I only check in here and there. So I will grab it and throw it into my notes if you have a link for that. If not, I'll try to find it. But that's actually interesting. I do think that this woman that raised the fake cancer money, fundraising money, is way more nasty. She's way more. She puts off the vibe that she's this really nice, not confrontational kind of individual. And I think it's the opposite. I think she has a very nasty streak. I think she knew what she was doing the whole time she ran that fundraiser. This is my opinion. I'm allowed to hold the opinion. I think she knew what she was doing the whole time she ran the fraudraiser. I think she did it on purpose. I don't think there was any accidental involved when it comes to the lies she told to get the money. When it comes to the way she faked, like the tubes that she put in her nose and other things that had to do with her being sick, all of it, I think, was purposely done. I don't think she got in over her head or anything like that. And I do think she has a mean streak from what I've seen. But we'll get into that story, you know, sometime when I get an update. I don't really have an update to give you any more than what I told you last time we talked about it. Though I haven't really brought you this story. Now, Nate the lawyer covered this, and he did a great job. Other people have covered this, and I do think that these are examples where the video, if you cut the video down, it makes it look one single way. And that's why I think these went so viral. If you look, every one of these videos have that in common. Take a look at more of this video.
This is not your bike, repeats the young black man standing next to her who says he just rented that city bike.
What do you mean? Hold on a minute. It's not her bike. Then why is she holding it? By the way, I still believe that it could be his bike. You need proof before you know whose bike it is. Right now, there are two people, and one of them owns the bike because two people cannot rent a city bike at the same time. And one of those people is holding on to the bike because it's an electric bike, and she wants the electric bike. She doesn't want to have to pedal. He wants the electric bike. He doesn't want to have to pedal. And one of them doesn't deserve to have the bike. One of them is trying to steal the bike from the other. Okay? That's just what's happening here.
Friends standing around him.
This is my bike. It's on my account.
Please get off. While the
Now look at this. New York hospital worker criticized after viral city bike dispute. Okay? 1 month ago. So this is the mainstream media news. And they are basically, everyone that watches this, because of the way they covered it, what they decided to show of the video, all of the people that watch this are mad at the woman. But if we go down here, because this is why Black Conservative Perspective has been knocking this out of the park recently. Let's go. And look at that one too. That's another example of one of these stories. And let's see. He does a lot of videos every day, just like Duty does, just like other people. So we're only 5 days back right here. So let me just find one of the last one he did on the bike. I just saw one of them. Doesn't go back too incredibly far. Topless at the White House. It was not too long before the topless at the White House thing. Let me just do it this way. Conservative Perspective bike. Oh, here we go. Okay, so here's the video that kind of goes into more detail. It turns out that the woman in that video hired a lawyer, and they are suing the news. The news broadcasters who labeled her as racist, they are now suing them for defamation. And the guy that does the Young Turks on the screen right here, the Young Turks guy, deleted his tweets against her once the evidence came out. So let me show you the evidence now. Now that you've seen, first, the videos come out from the news, and those videos are still up, and they show that this woman is in the wrong. Now look at what's been shown.
Hurting my fetus, my unborn child. Did you all hear that part? She said that. Why did she say that? Because that bolsters her argument to do what she's attempting to do, which is fair.
So this is how they labeled it, the Young Turks. Karen uses white tears to steal an e-bike from a black rider.
Under any other circumstance.
Again, I don't care if you're left or right. Take the politics out of it and look at the situation and look for the facts.
We will call this attempted theft if the black male went up to the white female who paid for her opportunity to utilize the device and he decided to grab it and try to take it. We will call that clearly attempted theft.
Several days later.
When are you going to get an answer, sir?
We are going to get an answer when we start filing defamation lawsuits.
Wow. It's going to go to that? You
Well,
feel that
the
your
media
client's been defamed?
Without question. She's been called a racist. She's been called a thief. There are reasons defamation laws exist, and we plan to pursue that.
A few moments later.
So let me contextualize this properly, okay? Naturally, we reported on a viral video as the facts were presented at that time.
No, you didn't.
By the time we reported on this video, well, there was no actual.
Voodoo says unblock my accounts. This is ridiculous. I've gotten a lot of money of you for you to block me once. Never mind twice. I never blocked you, Voodoo. Now, I don't know if my mods did, but I gladly will unblock you, and I apologize for you being blocked. It's Voodoo Sue, right? I can unblock you while we watch this, okay? And sorry about that, but we were getting attacked like crazy a few weeks ago, and I really don't blame my mods for how they handled things, you know? Though, if you want to be around, I appreciate that. I want you to be around, and I will unblock you. So I'm going to go right now and find your main account and unblock it, because I know I was subscribed to it, so I'll find it easy.
Statement yet from the other side. The hospital had a statement at that time, and they were troubled by what they saw as well. So were we.
Yeah, let me know those accounts, okay?
If
it's SOO,
this
right?
is true, which confirmation is still pending, still trying to find the individuals who are part of this narrative on the other side. If it is true, it does prove, in my opinion.
Okay, your main channel is unblocked, okay? If anybody else got blocked, all you got to do is come in and ask, and I'll unblock you. That's how I always do it. I don't see your other account, though. Voodoo on both? Well, the one that I unblocked was Voodoo SOO. Voodoo SOO. Yeah. Let me see if SUE. Yeah. Okay. And then type the name. Just give me the account name, how the name looks. Just type that in and I'll unblock the other. But I got the main one unblocked.
That Ms. Comrie had a good faith belief that she, in fact, had a right to the bike.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Okay, so as you heard, I'm not going to play a whole lot of this. I'm just going to kind of introduce you to some of these stories because I do want to look at the facts of the stories. I do think both sides have politicized the story, and that's what certain people do. That's what the Young Turks do, and Black Conservative Perspective does that too. And I'm not hating on any side. I do think the Young Turks are disgusting for how they handled this. But that's just an opinion I have. Though the main thing that's going to matter here is the receipts and the proof. And right now we only have receipts from one side. So it's red, black, gray. Oh no, I got red. I remember red, black, gray. You sent me an email. Okay. I'll see if I can find it. Okay.
Boy, oh boy, guys, I gotta tell you, I gotta be honest with you. I did not think I would be making this video so soon, right? In fact, I didn't think I would be making this video in my lifetime because Rashard Richey has now come out and given a update on the CITI Bike Karen situation, right? In which he is now trying to provide proper context to just
make sure you type the spaces right for me, Voodoo. But I did get the Voodoo Sue account is unblocked.
Justify his.
And that goes for anyone who gets blocked around here. You know, I can't blame my mods. There were people in the chat literally trying to drop names of my family members and stuff. So, I know it wasn't you. That's why I don't mind to unblock you. But if someone got blocked, I wish I could go in and like fix it. But the thing is, the only way I can fix it is to go to your channel. So, yeah, it sucks. That's just the way it is. Yeah.
Previous state
because of YouTube. That's YouTube's system they used to have something in our community tab where the last people who got blocked would be listed, and you could go in, and if you saw somebody that wasn't, like I accidentally blocked someone on UNIRock2 the other day. I blocked Windsor on UNIRock2 on accident because there was an account that I was blocking because they were typing a bunch of garbage, and I accidentally blocked Windsor when I had it loaded, and I'm like, as soon as I did it, I was like, oh man, I just hit the wrong account, and then it wouldn't let me do anything. And so things like that suck, but the community tab of our community tab in our studio, it doesn't work like it used to. So now you have to go to the channel yourself, like the channel link, in order to unblock somebody. It's really stupid.
Statements on a situation in which he falsely accused.
Okay, just give, if you can, I just need the actual like name of that account exactly as it's typed, like exactly how it looks in the name of the account, and I can try to find it and unblock it. If not, I can just have you send me the link to the channel and I can unblock it. But I did get the main one unblocked at least. So Voodoo, there we go. And I'm glad to have you back. I'm glad to have you here. And yeah, I do apologize, but guys, if any of you get blocked, the way to do it is exactly how Voodoo did. Just come in on another account or hit me up on Twitter or something, though I don't check Twitter a lot. You might have to let one of the mods know. Just come into the live stream and say, hey, this account needs unblocked. I don't ask questions or anything. I just do it because I know how it goes when things are crazy, y'all. I mean, could you imagine trying to manage a live chat when you've got people in here just spamming garbage and you got people stream sniping me and trying to troll constantly and everything? There's no way to handle it.
This woman of being a thief. He accused her of being a racist, a Karen, his guest, a mayor from Enfield, North Carolina, which is a very small town. I've actually been to that town. I'm actually basically from that town, okay, or around that area. His guest said that she
Voodoo Red? Okay, let me find it. She
was a pregnant thug, okay? He doxed her.
Thank you, Voodoo. You're too kind. I appreciate you. And once again, I sincerely apologize.
Probably has caused this woman all types of emotional stress, okay? The mainstream liberal media, along with people like him, have went out of their way to try to ruin this woman's life based off what we know now to be false claims.
Oh, Voodoo. That's how you do it. The @ sign. The @ sign took me right to your channel. I just unblocked the other one. So now all of them are unblocked. That's what we need to do, mods. From now on, when somebody needs unblocked, I just need their @ sign. Because you just do youtube.com/@ and their name, and it'll take me directly to their channel. So that's how we need to do it from now on. So from now on, any unblock request, we need their YouTube @ sign, and we'll be able to get to them right away. No, thank you, Sue, for actually coming in and actually telling me and not getting mad and stuff. Because I know how much it's frustrating when that happens. I feel really bad for blocking Windsor on UNIRock too, but I don't know how to get to the channel. I don't know his @ sign. I'm hoping he'll come in sometime on rockAlot and he'll be like, yo, why'd you block me, bro? And I actually responded to his comment and everything. I responded to the wrong comment because after I blocked him and realized it was an accident, I had to go and block the other account that was spamming. So yeah, I feel horrible when stuff like this happens, but yeah, all we can do is fix it. That's all we can do. So
that she was trying to steal a bike.
But I'm glad to see you. I've missed all you guys, so glad to see you. Check out UNIRock too. I got new videos. I've been working on uploads.
From 5 black teenagers.
Okay, we don't need any more of this story right now. We're gonna need updates on this story as time goes on, because both sides have crowdfunded large campaigns. One side I know was 180,000. I don't know which it was. And the other side was pretty high. Like I'm thinking it was 80 or 50 or 80 or 100 or something. So one side's 180 and one side is very big. So which side is telling the truth? Because once you look at those campaigns, I've looked at both campaigns for each side, and literally, if one is telling the truth, then the other is lying because they completely contradict each other. And it's just a very, I think, interesting way to look at a fundraising situation and see how we get into these messes, because as a society, just as people, what we want to do, or what we should want to do, is have things like this stop happening. We don't want people getting, for one, in the last story with the graduation ceremony, that woman could have lost her job forever. She just could have been like lost her retirement, lost her medical coverage, lost her job, had her life ruined. And depending on if she's got family or not, that could completely destroy her. And in this situation, the hospital that this woman, this pregnant woman, works at a hospital, and they laid her off while they investigated the story. And I don't know if she got rehired yet. She should have been rehired, because now that is only if the receipts that she and her lawyer put out are real. Because, and yes, now you're going to know why I reminded you of this story now real quick. The CITI Bike Karen's story, as I said, the CITI Bike Karen herself, the white lady, put out receipts that she rented the bike. Come here, buddy. Come here, bud. Come on. That's it. I'm snatching it. I'm snatching it. The little guy. There's the little monster. Oh, don't fall. Don't fall. Yeah, right there, right there, right there, right there, right there. Okay, so here's little Bowser. He's doing good. Does he look bigger? Is he looking any bigger for you all? I think he's looking a little bigger. There he is. Oh, he's so cute. He's doing so good. He's doing so good. He is, when I first got him, he was walking like a puppy. You know how puppies walk, where they start walking and they'll just, their butt will fall over because they have no balance. And he was really confused all the time. Like, where are we? Why are people here? Who are these people? Everywhere we went. And he's getting to know everybody. He's starting to learn who everybody is in his life. And he does really good in public. Every single person in a 10-mile radius comes up to him and pets him and holds him, and he just licks them and says hi to him, and he's being real social. So yeah, I think we're going to be able to make some pretty cool videos about old Bowser as he grows. So I'm brainstorming. I'm brainstorming some ideas, and he's doing really good. The sub is not made of titanium. It's made of composite. It was like one of experimental. No, just the sides. Just the loops were titanium. Well, they were a titanium alloy. Just the loops on each side of the body were titanium. The rest were carbon wrap or fiber. Yeah, just if you look at the sub, I'll draw it for you really quick with the good old-fashioned, bad, horrible looking, the worst looking billboard of doom ever. Okay, so here's the body of the sub, and it's like a cylinder, okay? It's a cylinder, and then the dudes would sit inside here, right? So you'd have the people, and they would sit, you know, they would have to sit all cramped up with their shoes off inside here, okay? So look, now this is a carbon fiber tube. Okay, this tube is carbon fiber. Now there are there's this like circular thing right here, okay? And it goes on the end here. And it goes on the end right here. And this is made out of a titanium or a titanium alloy. Then you've got this part right here that had the glass on it. So this is the see-through glass. And then you had like a tail section that had the electronics and the motors, and then you had motors on the side. Here, actually, let me get you a picture real quick of the sub. Titan sub. So I'll show you real quick. If you look, yeah, see this metal part right here? See the metal right here? If you go, there's a video of them putting this together. And these two things right here are these kind of like, they're titanium. They're held with this very industrial adhesive, and they only have one chance to put that titanium section in. So this is the carbon fiber section. This is titanium. I have no clue what this is made out of. And that's the same kind of carbon fiber. So they think that the failure was here. And when carbon fiber breaks, like when steel succumbs to a pressure in the ocean, it compresses, it implodes, right? When carbon fiber implodes, it breaks and shatters into a bunch of pieces. So this would have shattered into a bunch of pieces, instantly killing the people in the interior. Then the metal bars right here in the landing segment are connected to the titanium alloy circle. This circle right here and the circle here. The part that's titanium is only this metal looking part right here, okay? And there's a video done by Subbrief. If you want to see the different components, you can go BRIEF, the Titan tragedy.
Hello,
actually,
and welcome.
let me see if I can find it where they put it together, because I'll show you where the titanium is. It's right around here. Right here. See that? That's the titanium part. Ready? Here, let me show this to you, because this is very interesting.
Very accurate at calculating motion while submerged. And this system, I know, is very good. I have no questions about the Teledyne equipment. It's probably the best thing on this thing that actually works. All right, so here's the pressure hull under construction. As you can,
this is the literal pressure hull, constructed with bands of carbon fiber wrapped to 5 inches thick. So in theory, it would have a it would sustain to very high pressures due to it being 5 inches thick of this material. The issue is this material is carbon fiber.
you can see it's just a carbon fiber weave that is just loomed left and right until it becomes 5 inches thick. It's a carbon fiber wrap that's designed to withstand the pressures of 4,000 meters of sea depth.
Wow.
Here is a video of it being
4,000 meters would be 1,200 feet, right?
Of the titanium hatch rings being installed on one of the ends. Watch this.
So they put a titanium hatch ring on both ends after they construct the internal segment. Okay, so they have 2 titanium hatch rings, but they are held in with an industrial adhesive. And so they only have one chance, because once it hardens, once it's stuck together, you're not getting it unstuck without destroying something. That's how permanent it is. Here's the
adhesive
paste
right there.
The adhesive paste.
Think of it like a very thick glue. It's going to bond the titanium ring that you see there onto the carbon fiber pressure hull.
So they had to coat the bottom of the titanium ring and the top of the pressure hull, well, the end of the pressure hull. And they only have one chance to do this.
They only get one chance to do this, because once it's on, that bonding agent adheres. And it's not coming back off again after this. So they very carefully line it up, and it looks like they got it right. So good job getting the hatch rings on. This is going to go on both sides, the forward bow and the aft section.
So in order for, now the reason I showed you this isn't just to show that there's titanium. It's because when I uploaded my video on the sub, was trying to show everybody that this is why I wouldn't have trusted this. If I was going to get in this sub, I would want to look at how it was put together, you know, and then realizing that it's not a steel or a steel alloy body, I would ask, well, what's the body? And if I went and saw that I was about to get into a carbon wrap, even though it's 5 inches thick, just the fact of getting into this and then experiencing those pressures, how many times can this material experience those massive pressures? Once, 5, 20, 100? Because there has to be a limit, especially when you're that deep in the ocean. And if there is a small, microscopic crack that forms in the middle of one of those 5-inch thick segments, will that cause the integrity to fail? Because if the integrity fails, you're done. This whole machine just busts. This whole 5-inch thick carbon, once it's together and it's hardened, once it fails, because the forces are so strong, it just shatters into little pieces. And of course, the shattering, then those pieces have nowhere to go. Those pieces become shrapnel. The water, as the water instantly rushes into the center of the sub, it pulls the carbon fiber shards in like a reverse grenade shrapnel. And that's the only real relief you can have for the people that lost their lives, because it would have been, as Josh Gates and his companions said on NBC News, you wouldn't even know it happened. You would be awake, you would be alive, and you wouldn't even have time to know or have any indication that a failure is coming. It would be snap of a finger. Before you can snap a finger and hear the finger snap, the entire thing would have been over. And so you'd be awake, you'd be cognizant, and then you wouldn't be. You would just be asleep. You would just be gone in an instant, which is a very comforting thing to know that they didn't have to suffer. I don't even think there's a possibility that anyone inside of it suffered even a bit. They would have lost consciousness before they realized that they lost consciousness. It would have been that fast. The nerves in their body wouldn't have had time to send a communication signal to the brain for the brain to know that they had felt pain or that they had felt anything. It would be that quick. So it's a very sad scenario, and it's a very terrifying scenario to think. Now, one of the major things I didn't tell you about this earlier, let me just tell you it real quick to end off my little rant, is that let's say that the opposite happened, that they lost power. You lose power, you're only able to depend on a backup system. They didn't have backup systems. This is something Josh Gates really criticized this structure for, is that they don't have a redundancy. Even in computer networking and in computer programming and computer systems administration, we base everything we do on redundancy. So you have two systems for every system you have. And if one system goes offline, you have another system right there to pick up the load. And while the redundant system is carrying the load, that gives you time to fix the main system and bring it to where it needs to be so that you can have your two systems back online. And that should be the case for submarines. In fact, I would think that they should have had emergency breathing measures, which nobody could tell that they had or not. And they wouldn't have had a chance to run out of oxygen, because once the power is out, you have to have a heating system. The cold at those depths is so cold that without a heating system, you will suffer freezing to death at a very, very fast rate. So anyway, we're just happy that with it having to have been the scenario that we got, that it was a scenario where these people did not suffer. Is it really 10 o'clock already? Is it really 10? I guess I only started like an hour and a half ago. So basically, we have another situation where Starbucks had to pay $25 million, and it doesn't really go along. $25 million Starbucks lawsuit. Let me see if I can get this to come up. Okay. So this kind of goes in line with a couple of these other stories, because there is a big tension in our country. And of course, just talking about it, people are going to say, and I can't blame Kai for calling it, culture war kind of stuff, because at the heart of the story, it is very culture war-y. But again, I don't sit on the right and I don't sit on the left. I only sit in any situation where the right outcome is. If the correct or the right outcome sits on the left side, I'm on the left side. If the correct outcome is on the right side, I'm on the right side. I'm not ever going to take a side or to battle or to even condition my mind toward a side, regardless of the political leaning that it goes to. So hopefully that kind of can give you a little comfort to me looking into these stories. If not, I kind of understand you and how you feel. But this is kind of big. Starbucks ordered to pay over $250 million to a white former manager who claimed racial discrimination. Now, of course, they paid the manager because the manager did face discrimination. The white manager faced discrimination. Let me just tell you what happened, because it's the end of a story that a few years ago was kind of like, anyway. New Jersey jury ruled unanimously in favor of the former Starbucks employee who sued the company for wrongful termination, claiming that she was fired for being white. Shannon Phillips, a former regional director for the chain, claimed a lawsuit that first filed in 2019, and we talked about it long ago when it first came out, that her race was a determinative factor in Starbucks' decision to fire her in the wake of a 2018 firestorm. After a 6-day trial, the jury returned a verdict ordering the coffee giant to pay $25.6 million in settlement money, including punitive and compensatory damages. In April 2018, 2 black men, Dante and Rashawn, were arrested while waiting for a business meeting after an employee called 911 and accused the men of trespassing after they refused to make a purchase or leave the store. The arrest sparked nationwide protests and prompted Starbucks to close some of its stores for a day because of racial bias training. Robinson and Nelson reached a private settlement with Starbucks as well as with the city of Philadelphia, which vowed to pay the men each $1 and promised a $200,000 investment into programs that support aspiring young entrepreneurs, including the Philadelphia mayor's office. Less than a month after the arrest, Phillips was notified of her termination, despite claiming that she wasn't at the store the day and was not involved in the arrest in any way. According to the court docs, Starbucks claimed Phillips appeared overwhelmed, frozen, and lacked awareness of how critical the situation was for Starbucks and its partners, and that all actions taken by Starbucks with respect to Ms. Phillips were for legitimate, non-discriminatory, retaliatory reasons. Phillips, who had been employed by Starbucks for nearly 13 years at the time of her termination, claims she actively worked on crisis management efforts and took steps to ensure that the retail locations within her area were a safe and welcoming environment for all customers, regardless of race, according to a 2019 civil complaint. Attorneys, an NBC News contributor and managing partner of the Cochran firm, told GMA that Starbucks wasn't necessarily under legal pressure, but they were under public pressure to act and to show that they were open to everyone of every race and origin, and to show that they were not going to allow racism to foster within their organization. During the trial, key testimony came from a black district manager at Starbucks who testified via Zoom that he thought Phillips's race played into the Starbucks decision to fire her, and that his race was a reason why he was not terminated, according to a statement provided to ABC News. Phillips also told GMA Starbucks chose not to terminate the district manager of the store where the arrest took place, who was black, and instead terminated the white supervisor, Miss Phillips. So my point is this, guys. The news lies to you. We know this. And if I look into all of the examples, the most of the time when the news does lie, it's because of political leaning. So what I mean is, if Fox News is going to lie to you, it's because Fox is going to use a story to meet its side, its mindset, being on the right or whatever side they're on. And the same goes if I want to use CNN as an example for being on the left. And so is it them lying more than it's just kind of a negligent kind of not paying attention, not caring what the facts are, just being willing to grab the facts they want and throw it out at you? Yes, but we do have to ask ourselves why. Why are we constantly seeing these kind of stories happen and having these issues play out? And it does kind of hit the topic of race. And I just, wicked, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you, and I love you, and you're awesome. It does hit the topic of race, and this is something I have my entire life been against, is being racist or hateful towards another person based on things they can't control, as in physical characteristics, race, or any other thing that's out of their control. You know, if you have to judge other people based on the decisions they make and how they treat other people. And as we see this whole thing go on more and more and more, what we're seeing is that the line is pushed and pushed and pushed, where you will see people praised sometimes when it has nothing to do with how they acted or a decision they made, and you'll see people demonized a lot of times, and it has nothing to do with how they acted or a decision they made. And yes, it's cancel culture, and yes, both sides of the political aisle play into it. But as we've seen lately, and as you've been able to see inside of YouTube communities and inside of places that we've been, they will use cancel culture even if it's something that has to do with their feelings, their emotions, or anything else that sticks to the forefront of a situation. Either way, thank you for spending a little bit of time with me tonight. I've missed you all a lot, and we have not been streaming a lot. And one of those reasons is because of me uploading videos semi-regularly now. Not every day, but at least every other day. I've been able to upload videos, and I'm going to keep doing that. So if you do miss hearing the topics that we cover in our position on things, check out UNIRock 2. The 2 videos I've got up recently, one was a response to Betty, Bullhorn Betty, and her suing Queen, and some of the things that Menace showed in an upload that he did, where Menace was, keep up the good work, Uni. Hey, Ruby, good to see you, and I will. I'll do it because all of you guys keep wanting me to, and so as long as you want to be here, I'll make sure that I'm here for you, okay? And thank you. Now, the thing is, though, I uploaded that video kind of giving my perspective on what Betty did because, of course, it was right in line with how JLR filed a frivolous lawsuit against me. Betty has filed her frivolous lawsuit against Queen. And so I just weighed in on my thoughts on an upload. In my opinion, that's the best way to weigh in on things like this without stoking some kind of drama fire. The drama is battling live streams. The drama is speculation. The drama is how people are gossiping and choosing to handle situations in a way that doesn't lead to resolutions or doesn't lead to filling the gaps that prevent resolutions. Because, of course, a lot of times you do have to handle some topics that help fill gaps so that resolutions can then be worked towards. The people that focus on things opposite of that, sometimes they have a good reason for focusing on those things. Because, yes, I will focus on things that don't meet that criteria sometimes. But I would invite those of you that are evidence-based, who care about the truth of what's going on in a situation, to recognize not just how we see in the media certain biases take hold and push the different stories that are covered, but also in the communities that we're in. Because as you would have seen on YouTube years ago, there was a base out there who didn't support people that lied and pushed lies or pushed sensationalism. And as time goes on, here's my correlation, here's my point. As time goes on, more and more, we are starting to see that as the media is going on, it's been getting worse and worse and worse on both sides. Again, now it becomes more acceptable because the media is doing this for others to get caught up in that. And as it was something that we all pushed against in the past, and we never let ourselves get caught up. We always followed the facts and evidence and tried to press against drama. Now you're seeing that you can even have situations where the opposite happens if the same tactics that they use in propagandistic situations are manipulated by people, even in small communities. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I will have my upload up tomorrow. I can't promise you a live stream tomorrow because of me uploading, but I hope I have time because I'd like to come over here every day to rockAlot and show you little stories that I think are interesting, comment on the tragedy pimping that's going on still, because yes, I'm going to keep covering tragedy pimping here and there, just not full-time like I was, and even bring you some new topics altogether. One of those new topics has to do with aliens. As you know, there was a government leaker that came out and said that they had experienced UFO reverse engineered technology, which isn't something really, you know, that should catch our attention, because that's a common claim in the last 10 years. Every year, it's like a new government leaker comes out and tells us this. Now, this guy's different because he actually has proof that he had the security clearance that the military would give somebody who would be able to meet those people, and had proof that he formed relationships with the people who he named as people having this information. Now, I always come in, and a lot of you guys that like conspiracies love watching my show sometimes for conspiracies, because I'll cover it from both sides. I'll cover it from the skeptical side, and I will cover it from the conspiracy side. And a lot of times you'll get mad at me, though, because by the time we get to the end of the story, I'm not going to be diving down the rabbit hole. I'm going to be following the facts. I don't care if it's the popular thing to do. But from what I've been able to find and looking into the weirdness going on in the last let's say couple months around the story of the government leaker alleging UFO reverse engineered technology and some of the UFO sightings that go along with it, like the alien thing I showed you a few days ago, where the really tall aliens were in the backyard and all this stuff, and there was this shooting star that night that got recorded, all that stuff that happened. I think we will get to the bottom of these stories and have the most logical take by the end. I can promise you that. So if you are here for the truth, even if it's a little boring truth, then check into those things when we cover those stories, because I really am interested. I've been tracking this a lot lately. Now, there have been a lot more UFO sightings, and other than that alien landing in the backyard and these guys claiming to be staring at these aliens for like 3 minutes before they ran away and all this, and they called the cops and they told the cops they saw the aliens. There's a lot more sightings out there other than that sighting, though only a couple of them I would even bother to bring you, but maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff that I want to cover for the next few months. That's what I want to do. Now, if you want to support me, it's extremely helpful because I have been spending all of my money on this lawsuit. It's paypal.me/UNIRock and $UNIRock on Cash App. Also, super chats and memberships. Any of you like Wicked and Ruby and and Voodoo Sue, and those of you that did membership, thank you so much. It really helps a million. But I'll be back very soon, and if you need more content, go to UNIRock too. See you tomorrow. Okay, I just read what Ellen said. I love alien conspiracies. Oh my God, Bigfoot, I'm a geek. I'm a geek too. So before I go, have you ever heard of the Mothman? I've been looking into the Mothman. So let me see if I got this video. I will shout you out an awesome video really quick before I go, so that if you want to watch this, it's really good. Now, the reason why I'm into the Mothman is because the Mothman conspiracy happened in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, which is a few hours away from me. Well, more than a few, but it's not too far away, okay? Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so it was the Y-Files. This is my new favorite YouTube channel because I love Hecklefish so much. Okay, so let me see here. If the Mothman video, I don't know, right here, 2 months ago. 2 months ago, the Mothman returns, Point Pleasant legend to Chicago terror. So if you have time, check this video out. Now, here's the thing. If you haven't seen the Y-Files, though, you need to go subscribe right now because he does a great job bringing these stories to you. It reminds me a lot of my style of covering conspiracies, but he is a little more woo-woo than me. I'll give you that kind of warning right now. I try to debunk throughout my reporting on Spiracies. I often do that. I give you the end throughout. I'll tell you that I don't believe it throughout the whole thing or whatever, right? He doesn't do that. But he does it at the end. So at the end of the video, he takes the logical take, and that's why I really respect him. So if you need some good content, this dude is great. And he's got this little buddy called Hecklefish. Let me show you Hecklefish before I go, because I love Hecklefish so much. He's like my friend. Okay, I'm going to play the sponsor part so that I'm not stealing his content. This is where him and Hecklefish are doing an ad read, and he always has the best jokes during the ad read. So let me show you this.
And when the crab cat arrives, all guppies tremble at this.
A Wiki's log. I've been 2 weeks on duty. The solitary life was a welcome respite, but my old ways have begun to beckon me back.
Did you just fin dial me?
Yeah, human. I'm glad I caught you. Look, I need an advance on my check.
I gave you an advance when you hired those Estonian merchants.
Guys, Bizzy wants advances on his check so that he can buy crack all the time. Him and Hecklefish have a lot in common.
Mercenaries.
I know, but...
And I gave you an advance to buy that land in Scotland.
I know.
And I gave you an advance to rent that submarine.
Well, that was work-related.
So this would be...
That was work-related. I love Hecklefish so much. I will giggle the whole time I watch the Y-Files. So if you have not heard of that YouTube channel, you will thank me the next time you see me, because you will be watching him for the next few days. And he's got a lot of videos. He puts a lot of effort into them. Trust me. Check him out. Give him a chance. If you have to give him a couple videos, do it. He's really good. Guys, I got to go, though, okay? I'm going to head over to Kick, and I'm going to play some... I think I'm going to play some Diablo. Well, before I go to Kick, though, I'm going to talk to Rachel. So if you don't see me on Kick, I'll be there in the morning, okay? If I'm not on Kick tonight, I'll be there in the morning, but we're going to be playing Diablo. Oh, screw it. Let's go to Kick.